Hello and welcome. You're watching the social network. Now, politics after a tragedy in this country is certainly not something we haven't seen before. But this time, after the Uttarakhand tragedy, it's taken on a whole new platform. In the last about 20 hours, in the last 7 hours, politicians have in fact sent out tweet after tweet from the main political parties, blaming each other and simply making the whole calamity into a whole political disaster. On your screens at the moment is really how the trail started, if you can see it on your screens. Then really in the morning, Manish Tiwari had tweeted saying that did the LOPs of both the houses, referring of course to Sushma Swaraj and Arun Jaitley, visit the disaster-hit Uttarakhand area. And this is from a party that criticizes visits of Congress leaders. And Sushma Swaraj jumped in saying that I'm sorry to say that the government in Uttarakhand has not been able to rise to the occasion. She also tweeted saying, in fact, she was the one who woke the government up on the 18th of June to tell them that a disaster had in fact struck the country and it was far bigger than it was being understood at. This war did not end right there. Nirmala Sitharaman also jumped into that to defend Sushma Swaraj, of course. And then we saw Ajay Makhan, also from the Congress party, saying that this should not be made into a political it should not be made political at all. It was a disaster and a calamity of huge proportions, and everyone needed to recognize that. What do you make of this? Of course, that's the entire viewer's perspective. But on the social network today, we discussed Twitter Sabha, politics, not participation. That, of course, we are talking about the Uttarakhand tragedy. And remember, you can tweet us live during the show. Our Twitter handles on your screens at the moment at TSN on NDTV. Joining us on the show today, we've got with us Shehzad Poonawala, who is the founder member of the Youth for Congress. Thank you, Shehzad, for coming in. Nupur Sharma, who's the national media co-in-charge of the Bharatiya Janata Yuva Morcha. Thank you, Nupur, for coming in. We've also got with us Radhika Krishnan, who's an environmentalist and also a member of ISA. And joining us from Dehradun, we're joined by Anil Joshi, who's the founder of the Himalayan Environment Studies and Conservation Organization and has been working naturally in the wake of that tragedy for the last many weeks to get relief and rescue operations going in the state. Anil, I want to start with you first. आपसे शुरू करना चाहेंगे हम. आपने देखा होगा कि किस तरह दोनों तरफ के नेता एक दूसरे से लड़ाई कर रहे हैं. ज्यादातर हम लोग कभी-कभी लड़ाई ग्राउंड पे देखते हैं. इस बार तो लड़ाई एक तरह से इंटरनेट पे चली गई है, ऑनलाइन वर्ल्ड पे चली गई है. आपको क्या वहां पर बैठते हुए इतने हफ्तों से जो आप काम कर रहे हैं, आप क्या सोचते हैं इसके बारे में?
मैं बड़ा दुर्भाग्य इस बात को महसूस करता हूं और सारे उत्तराखंड के लोग इस बात के लिए और दुखी हैं कि एक ऐसे मौके पर जहां पे सबको सामूहिक रूप से लोगों के बीच में खड़ा होना चाहिए, अगर वो बहस पे जुट जाते हैं तो ये हमारा बहुत बड़ा दुर्भाग्य है. और ये समय है कि सबको एक साथ जुटकर एक मंच पर आकर हमारी विपदा में हमारी भागीदारी करनी चाहिए, न कि एक दूसरे पर लांछन लगाते हुए उस काम को और रोकें और इस तरह की बातों को जन्म दें जिससे हमारा कोई रिश्ता नहीं है. मैं समझता हूं कि लोग आपको इस रूप में कभी भी माफ करने वाले नहीं हैं. कम से कम उत्तराखंड के 83 हिस्से में जो विपदाओं में फंसे हुए लोग हैं वो इस बहस को जड़ से अस्वीकारते हैं और इस बात के लिए सोचते हैं, अपेक्षा करते हैं कि सभी लोग, किसी भी राजनीतिक दल के लोगों, वो इस बहस से दूर रहते हुए और ये सोच तैयारी करें कि कैसे आने वाले समय में हम राहत और उनका जीवन वापस पहुंचा सकें जिनको किन्हीं कारणों से ये हमारे बीच में से छिन चुका है.
Okay, Radhika, I want to throw that out to you first. You heard what Anil is saying. He's of course been talking to several people across the state, but in a sense, we're seeing this breakout on Twitter, on the online world. But we've seen several occasions of it. Even in the last few days, there was politics over Narendra Modi's visit. There was politics over Rahul Gandhi's visit. There was also, of course, that famous video that we're going to play out in just a bit with the Congress and TDP leaders actually fighting at the airport about who gets to take the victims home.
See, I think this is very unfortunate because after such a huge tragedy, I completely agree with Anilji, I think that's his name, that the real focus should be immediately to get relief and rehabilitation on the ground. But more important is to understand the reasons for why we are talking about relief and rehabilitation in this whole disaster in the first place.